Okay, so welcome to my interview, and I'm with
Seth.
Okay, so these are my beauty narrative questions, and my first question, or like statement slash question, is I describe being one of only 2 black students in my 2nd grade class and being repeatedly clipped down by my teacher. This happened even when I didn't do anything wrong. Why do you think children of color are sometimes punished more harshly for expressing themselves? Also, how might that connect to how society views young black girls? And you can answer the first part you can answer one at a time if you want.
So how do I feel?
Yeah. So, why do you think this, children of color are affected by, or punished more harshly for expressing themselves in school versus other children?
Other children?
Yeah.
I feel that's just unfortunately the way society in America has been, or has progressed. Like, I don't really know the reason why specifically.
Do you think it has anything to do with, the prison pipeline or anything?
Like the teacher already, has a preconceived, notion, they're gonna go to jail, they're a delinquent, so, I should, or, they do this, if a white child were to, throw a pencil across the class, oh, it's fine, but if a black kid does it, oh, they're trying to hurt someone, they're trying to, be aggressive.
Yeah. And then also, how does that connect to, society's view of young black girls, expressing themselves? She was overly disciplining me, but, all of the white kids, or the white girls, she wasn't disciplining them as much. Another instance of this is kind of how society, when it comes to dress code and everything, how they overly discipline black women.
I feel like white people might be threatened for whatever reason by black women expressing themselves.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, my second question is, when I shared the moment where my teacher used my family as an example during a civil rights lesson, how did that make you feel as a listener? If you were in my position, how do you think you would have reacted? And have you experienced something similar?
I have experienced something similar because I've been to schools where I'm one of the very few black kids. I haven't specifically experienced my family being used for situations like that, but knowing myself at that age, I probably would have been really confused.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when stuff like that would happen to me, I always felt like everyone was just staring at me and judging me. And I don't know, I never liked that.
Yeah. You feel like you're put on the spot, you're put in the spotlight. Yeah. How did that make you feel as a listener, though? Listening to that, did you feel like you...
I feel like I really related to that. It brought me back to middle school.
Yeah.
Where...
So my third question is, I also talk about realizing the fact that I felt I didn't feel as pretty or feminine as the white girls in my class. And when you're growing up, did you ever notice certain beauty features or beauty standards being more valued than others? And can you describe a moment that stood out to you when you were younger that made you feel that way?
A moment that made me feel
certain features were above other features when it comes to Eurocentric features, so straighter hair, whiter skin, skinnier nose, stuff like that.
Specifically from, I remember freshman year, me and my white friends were talking about girls, and whenever they like talked about someone that was attractive, like was always like blonde hair, like blue eye, like they were just white. And then like if I said anything about a black girl, like once one kid, he was like, I just don't find black girls attractive, and I was like, why? And he was just like, why would I find them attractive? I didn't know what to respond to that, but yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, is there ever an instance where you felt like you compared to the white boys, like you didn't feel like?
When I was younger, I'd always want my hair to like.
I literally talked about that in class. Like I wanted my hair to touch my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like in PE, they'd always move it out their face, and I'd be like, cause I just had it.
So like straighter, looser hair. Like you thought that was. Like,
I didn't like my curly hair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your hair's nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is my my beauty gathering questions. So these are my questions that are coming from specific things that I've read about like different beauty standards and different research that I've done on different articles. So in The Name of Beauty by Cottam, she talks about the fact that beauty standards are often tied to power and social acceptance. Do you think that beauty can function as a form of social power? And how have you seen this play out in your own life? So maybe like when you feel more handsome.
I feel like I agree with what she was saying, as in like, or this is kind of similar to you saying like success is related to proximity to whiteness.
Yeah, like, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah. I feel like the way society is like to be more formal or respected, like you need to have straight hair, just look more close to whiteness in order to be more respected and be.
Yeah, even when it comes down to your hair and like how people perceive your physical appearance, like if I look this way physically, I might get this job. Can you talk about your experience with that? Like I know you were talking about that earlier.
The having to cut my hair.
Yeah, can you just like talk about that a little bit?
So like I got a NASA internship this summer, and my dad was telling me I need to cut my hair in order to, I guess, be more respected by my employers. Yeah, I feel like that's what like stemmed the conversation about proximity to whiteness and success.
Yeah. Which I disagree with, but I also like it's so tricky.
It's hard to like.
It's so hard to fathom like
you kind of have to.
Yeah.
In order to fix it.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. We don't like that, but we're gonna change it once we get up there. Yeah. Okay. So my fifth question is, in Jeremy O. Harris's Decolonizing My Desire, he talks about how his attraction and sense of beauty were shaped by white standards. Can you tell me what you think about the idea that our preferences are socially conditioned? Do you think this has affected you?
I think just because I've always gone to schools where like I was the minority, and there's like very few black kids, like society is, or like that's very much shaped how I perceive.
Even down to like, say for example, like musical artists or like
yeah, I would say so.
Or like Disney Channel, like.
What do you mean Disney Channel?
So certain people being featured on Disney Channel, like certain types of women being featured as more pretty on like teen shows that get all the male attention in the teen shows, and the darker skinned or like the bigger women usually don't get like the same amount of attention as someone who's like skinnier and blonde or like.
So you're asking if I noticed that?
Yeah, like, so like do you feel like that's like you've internalized that at all, like, or do you feel like it hasn't affected you?
Remember Andy Mack?
Yeah.
That guy with the really loose curls and that one blonde spot.
Mhm.
I used to, cause like my curl pattern is not that loose. I used to be like, cause like everybody wanted him, so I was like I need to get curls like that. I feel like I've internalized, cause that's the only like black character I've seen that I guess women are attracted to in like Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I thought that.
Or like, you know, from High School Musical, the guy, of course he played basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Him.
They always have black characters playing sports.
Right.
Or like in Power Rangers, I saw a TikTok the other day where it was like, they either had dad issues. One dude was like the first season, like they got him out of jail. Or like one guy's the only guy that has a gun. Like it's just like they have a lot of black stereotypes for like the only black
yeah, the only black character, or they're super funny.
Yeah.
Super weird. Anyways, I would say, am I also answering these questions? Because I just feel like growing up it did, but like I feel like I had to like kind of change like what I found as like being beautiful or attractive in my own like head, you know? Do you relate to that?
I feel like I've started like since going to an HBCU, I've started to like change that.
Yeah. Okay, so the 6th question is in Chimamanda okay, let's hope it doesn't do that again. In Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's talk, The Danger of a Single Story, she talks about how only seeing one type of story can shape how we view ourselves and others. How do you think... We were just literally talking about that in the last question. But how do you think limited representations of beauty in media affect young black people, especially children of color? We were just talking about this in the last question.
But the thing you said about the one like view of something changing how you, that's kind of like when we were talking about my view of private school, because that's all I have.
Yeah.
And then
so like I'm thinking about this question like as more of like when you see one niche of something and you are only able to perceive something like as being one niche, like maybe growing up you didn't see like black people as like being like surfers or like rock stars or something. You only saw them as being like a basketball player or football player, like some stuff like that. I feel like growing up I didn't see a whole lot of black swimmers like represented in the media. So I think that's why I like H2O Mermaids a lot. You didn't have like any like black characters?
I mean, I feel like I don't think I ever like noticed it, but like people like, because I've played soccer, like every time someone would walk up to me, like 9 times out of 10 they'd be like, oh, you play basketball? And I'd be like, no. They'd be like, why? Like, why? I just don't like want to play basketball. They're like, but you're so tall, you look like you should play basketball.
I relate to that as well. Yeah, they only see a single story and then they assume that you fit into that single story. Yeah. Gotta get representation up. Also, can you add on like how you think that affects young children of color?
I feel like that affects young children of color because they're only seeing what I guess white people think a black person should be. So like now you've grown up thinking, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, gotta play basketball, football, etc. And they don't see that you can do other things like swim or like I don't know, that applies to a lot of stuff.
Like a water polo or something. Like something, or horseback riding.
Something exotic.
Yeah. Yes. Research shows that Eurocentric features, lighter skin, straighter hair, and narrower features are often seen as ideal or better. Why do you think these features became the standard, and how do they continue to influence people today? So, like, how do you think...
I think it became this way because of slavery.
Yeah. Definitely.
And how does it affect people today?
Boy, oh boy.
I mean, I that goes back to, like, the success being proximity to whiteness. Like, I need to have straight hair. I need
to have a narrower nose. And I think about, like, how an entire industry has been, like, people are still capitalizing off of that. Like, what do you think about that? Like, plastic surgery?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if they're, like, I guess they are. They don't intend to, I feel like.
Like the Michael Jackson movie. We just saw the Michael Jackson movie. But, like, rhinoplasty, stuff like that, like... But, like, can you elaborate on, like, slavery and, like, why you think that's...
I think because of slavery, like, you were treated a certain way as property because of the color of your skin. So the lighter you are, or the closer you are to whiteness, the less likely you are to experience... Well, okay, so after slavery, I guess, the less likely you would be to experience racism. Because, like, if you're, like, really pale skin, a white person...
But can you also argue, like, during slavery, too?
Yeah.
Because of, like, they're called...
Like, indoor slave?
Indoor versus outdoor.
It's like, it's always preferable to be light.
Yeah.
Colorism.
Shaking my head. Okay, so many scholars argue that internalized beauty standards can affect confidence and identity development. What do you think society can do about that? How can society change, like, people thinking that they have to have certain beauty standards to be confident?
I've thought about this. I don't really know, but back to the NASA thing, like, you have to get there and then prove why it's wrong that they think this way. That's kind of like where my head's at right now with that. Like, you might have to conform a little bit.
Like, personally? But, like, what do you think society can do? Like, brands, retail...
have more representation, like, in Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Like, more people of color having those roles where they're, like, the attractive person, if that makes sense. Or,
yeah. Okay, so, technology narrative, that was the narrative I was talking about. My personal experience with TikTok and how I thought it was editing my features to make me look a certain way that I wasn't. So, I describe in a moment in my story when I explained how technology played a part in how I saw myself. I also explained how I interacted with others. Based on that experience, do you think technology tends to shape identity in a positive or negative way? Can you explain why?
I feel like social media specifically tends to shape it in a negative way. With, like, I guess, like, with filters and, like, what you see on, like, Instagram and TikTok of, like hot people or, like, like, perfect people.
Yeah. Do you think, like, specifically talking about, like, you know, like, we weren't talking about Snapchat filters, but we were kind of just talking about, like, Snapchat and how, well, we don't have to get into that, but, like, you know how Snapchat will, like, edit your face to make you look paler, or, like, certain, like, filters will make you look really pale.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to choose not like pale, but, like, like, because I was always around white people, so like, yeah, I would. It was like the second one, I think. You swiped twice, and it made me look a little paler.
A little bit paler.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. Do you think technology tends to shape identity in a positive or negative way?
I mean, I think it can be positive, but like, it's mostly negative. Like, it's not like the companies are trying to make it negative, but I do feel, because it's the other people that are using technology, it becomes negative.
Yeah. When I shared how I felt during that moment, so when I say that moment, I mean like the moment of finding out that like TikTok was like really editing my features even when I didn't want it to. Pressure, comparison, dependence, etc. What stood out the most? Can you tell me about a time that you ever experienced something similar with social media or technology? Oh, we basically just said it about like the Snapchat filter and making yourself paler. So did you like overpost? Did you post those pictures more or?
Well, it'd be like if I was sending it to like a girl.
Yeah. So you thought that
made me more attractive.
Yeah. I feel like that goes back to one of our earlier questions about like, you know, beauty being more tied to Eurocentric features.
Definitely.
So yeah. Hold on. I'm hot. Okay. So,
that feels nice.
Yeah, but I feel like it's louder, but it's okay. So, if you're in my position during the situation, how do you think you would have responded? Do you think your relationship with technology has changed over time?
If I were... I think the more that I like learn about myself, the more that I guess my relationship with technology has changed. Like, I don't take I don't see things and like think, oh, I gotta be like that. When I feel like maybe in the past I would have. And then what was the other thing?
Can you tell me? How do you think you would have responded? Like, if you found out your phone was editing your face to make you look a certain way, even when you didn't want it to. Just like against your will.
I probably would have just like, I would have just like stopped posting on that app probably.
So just like taking time away from the app. Yeah.
Or I probably would have just like uninstalled it, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the technology gathering. So this is the research that I did on technology. And then I kind of just turned it into some questions that I specifically had for you. So in the article Alone Together by Turk, she argues that technology can make people feel more connected, but actually, instead of technology making people feel more connected, it can make people feel more isolated. Do you agree with this ideal, and tell me why or why not?
I do agree, because like it can make you feel more connected, as in like I guess during COVID nobody could be with each other, but also isolated because now you have people like trying to be like someone famous, or trying to be or they feel like, because like Instagram, for example, that's people's like highlights of their life, and you look at that and you see like, oh, that's not happening in my life. I don't look like this, etc. So that's like negatively affecting you as a person.
So you're saying you agree with the idea? So my 13th question is, as Tristan Harris deliberates on persuasive technology, he talks about how apps are designed to keep our attention for as long as humanly possible. Does knowing this information about technology change the way you think about using social media? And I know that you don't really scroll on TikTok, but you mentioned that you scroll on like Instagram Reels.
Mm-hmm. Has it changed the way that I think about social media?
Yeah.
No, because I haven't always known that they do that, but I understand it from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
So it's good for my stocks.
Meta.
Yes. Get into that. Yeah, it hasn't really affected how I think about certain platforms.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of designed to keep you, like, in front of them. Like, which is not good, but yeah, they're just designed to keep you kind of stagnant, maybe, I would say.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay, so research. Oh, also, I feel like they're designing it to keep, like, I've also read that it's like a dopamine hit, and it's kind of designed to keep you addicted to, like, the technology, you know?
So you keep scrolling, or you keep going back.
Yeah.
Close that out.
Mm-hmm. So, research on social media platforms shows that constant comparison can negatively impact self-esteem. Do you think that social media has affected how people view themselves, and do you think how it's changed how people view others? Can you give me an example I'm just gonna say,
like, how people view others because of social media?
Yeah.
I think it has affected how people view others, because, like, when the that whole, like, mugging stuff was popular, like, I had a friend, he, like, started, like, icing his face every morning. Like, he got the mugging thing that he'd keep in his mouth all day. Like, yeah, it definitely, like, affected how he viewed himself, and then I feel like, in turn, how you view others, because, like, now whenever he sees someone else, he's probably thinking, like, oh, my jawline's better, or, like, oh, I need to get a jawline like that.
Yeah. Also, that whole, like, face, what is it called, look maxing trend, I feel like it's also kind of fed into, like, the blue pill, red pill movement, where, like, men think that they need to appear, like, a certain way, and they're kind of comparing themselves to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have a coworker who look maxes. His face is so shiny.
Oh. Some researchers argue that technology companies prioritize profit over user health and safety. Do you think tech companies have a responsibility to protect minors? And why or why not? And also, what changes do you think they can make to make technology healthier? So,
I think legally, right, shouldn't they be protecting minors?
I mean,
and I feel like,
to what extent, though?
I feel like they've tried. Like, I've seen commercials where it's like Instagram, like, they're trying to market it to the parents, like, you can't have a public account unless you're over the age of, like, 16 or something. Which I think that's kind of wild. But and, like, there's a lot of, like, apps that are, like, doing that, where, like, they're, I guess, more heavy with parental controls and stuff. So I feel like,
do you think tech like companies have a like moral responsibility, or do you think that it should just be
morally? I think morally, like, yes, but when you're looking at, like, I like morally, like in a perfect world, yes, but like because it is like humans and like they're money driven, that's like pushed to the side.
Like you're saying, since we live in a capitalist society, they push aside the ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like unless there's like heavy laws put in place that like prevent them from making the money, then they're probably just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. So that they feel like they should be held accountable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the end of the interview. Thank you so much for participating.
No problem.
Yes. So, do you feel like you learned anything?
I feel like you made me think about my my past, like my upbringing with and
technology and beauty.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming to our TED Talk.